Why were we doing it every hour?
Many people don't do this anymore. I think it's critical. If your systems go down, if you lose power, if you lose your GPS, if you lose your tracking, navigation type stuff, and you don't know where you are, and you didn't record your last known position, you're kind of screwed. Hey guys, how's it going?
While we were on our 26-hour overnight passage, we were taking a log on this piece of paper. We kept it every hour. Why were we doing it every hour?
My belief is that it keeps you alert. It kind of makes the time pass too. It gives you something to do every hour. It keeps you in a cycle, and it keeps you aware of and looking at the boat systems so that if something does occur, you pick it up pretty quickly. Like things that we're looking at were like the temperature. That's the temperature of the engine. And so, if you check it 1 hour and it's 180, and then next hour, if it's 190 or 200, you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. That's not right. Same thing with the fuel. We looked at fuel consumption. The course is just the direction that we were traveling or we were intending to travel. The log is basically the distance from our point of origination to wherever we were at that time. We did that with our GPS each hour as well. So you can determine what you call a fix. So that's a known position, and then you know the speed at which your boat is going in a particular direction. So you can calculate out, draw a straight line out, and within, if you're going 7 knots, 7 nautical miles per hour, you check it the next hour, you can see you can get an estimate how far you've gone. And then you can check it with another fix, which is the known position from the GPS, and you can see how far you're off from that line that you were traveling. And that gives you an indication of the current. You can get something called set and drift.
Came in really handy one time because you ended up seeing that the fuel was down lower than you wanted it to be, and so you ended up changing the fuel tank.
We have 2 fuel tanks. Yeah.
So because we were checking it every hour, we could see when it started going down lower than we wanted, and he ran down and changed the fuel tank that we were using.
And another really important reason, if your systems go down, if you lose power, if you lose your GPS, if you lose your tracking, navigation type stuff, and you don't know where you are, and you didn't record your last known position, you're kind of screwed. Or in the fog or something like that, or at night, or you can't see land. What you do is you record these things, and then you can just, if you have no power, you can go down to your chart, which I'll show you, we're going to show you how to do, and you can plot where you are on the chart, and then you can take a course and do a dead reckoning to get you back to your home port and some safety.
One of the reasons doing this is that if we lose power, like you just said, but we had access to call the Coast Guard, and they asked, where are you? We could say, we don't know, but 30 minutes ago, we were here.
This was our known position 30 minutes ago, yeah. Yeah. Boats are not foolproof. Systems go down, power goes down. Had happened before. I believe this is a safety precaution. Many people don't do this anymore.
Now, what do we do with this information?
Well, I just recorded it onto the ship's log because it's the official record of the boat. Really, it's like if the Coast Guard ever inquired, where was your boat on or where, for some reason, like if there was a collision or there was something that happened or whatever.
This is our alibi?
This is our alibi. This is our official record of where we've been. And it's very helpful later on, too, when you're trying to plan another passage and you look to see, oh, this is the course I took, and this is how long it took, and this was my bearing. And
so now we have this log, and we're going to put it on the chart.
Our position, our latitude and longitude.
But why? Because to me, if we have this, why do we have to put it on the chart?
It's like a road map. You know how many roads in the ocean? You need a visual representation of where you're going, because here, this doesn't tell you where the rocks are, or where the land is, or where shoals are, or where there's really shallow water. You need this, the chart. So a nautical chart is usually set up and orientated where true north is up in that direction, east-west is perpendicular in this direction. And so every chart has a compass rose, which shows you true north, and then it gives you degrees around the compass rose. Also on every nautical chart, there's going to be your latitude and longitude. Latitude is north-south. Just think of ladders, because your latitude scale is always the same. It doesn't change because they're parallel lines that wrap around the globe. So 1 nautical mile is equivalent to 1 minute on the latitude scale. It's important to know. On the longitude scale, you have converging lines at the poles. So at the equator, your latitude lines are farther apart, and as they converge on either pole, they come closer together. So they're not constant, they change. Anytime you want to know the scale of the chart, you either look at your latitude or you can just look at the chart. Usually has a scale someplace as well. In general, the chart shows you where land is. It shows you depths, it shows you buoys, it shows you obstructions, it shows you all the topographical, navigational important type data that you might need so you don't hit something. You need to have charts on board and they need to be current. So when we did our passage, we wrote down our position in latitude and longitude. So I'm going to show Mary Beth how to plot that on a chart. Here you can see where I started, like when we left Wilmington. It's just a straight line. Here's the rum line. This is the proposed course I thought we would take, this line right here. And these are the positions I pulled off here already. These were the fixes I got off GPS. So we're here, and this is the time that we recorded them. Here, 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 and here. What you're going to do is, so that the last one was at 1756. So the next one is 1906. It was at 33 degrees, 25.8 minutes. You should always put a north here. And probably not important because they're not world travelers, but north is the North Hemisphere. So you have to designate whether you're in the Northern Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere, because you're going to have the same exact position in the Northern Hemisphere as in the Southern Hemisphere, number-wise, but one will be north and one will be south because they're symmetric. Same thing with the Western and Eastern Hemisphere. So anyway, so we're in the Northern Hemisphere and we're on the western side of the prime meridian. So it's going to be 33 degrees, 25.8
So that's what I have to find.
seconds. So over here, you look the north, so up and down here.
33.
I wasn't recording it.
33. And then what?
32.4 north.
32.4, which
Minutes
is
north.
here. And then we go across.
Okay, 078.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I have to go kind of right in here somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. 078
78.
degrees, 23.7 minutes.
23, 24 right here. Okay, let's do this one.
If we were underway right now when we were doing this exercise and we plotted this, we said, okay, 6.8 nautical miles per hour. Yeah, say we didn't have a GPS, or the GPS went. We could verify about approximately what speed over land we're going, because our speed over land isn't necessarily our speed over the water, because current takes into effect. So like if you're going 10 knots over land, but yet the current is coming at you 10 knots, then it's going to look like, if you measure the speed over water, it's going to look like you're going 20 knots. If you're going 10 knots over land and the water is going with you at 10 knots, if you look at your little paddle wheel, which gives you the speed over water, it shows you going 0 knots. So that's really important to figure things out, like current and stuff. So it gives you another way to verify and give you confidence that you really are where you think you are, especially if you can't see land, if it's dark, or if it's foggy, and you're relying on a GPS. This thing's not always right. It's really important when you're driving a boat to lose all your senses. Don't just be staring at the GPS all the time, looking at the GPS and saying, oh, I got to stay on this course and I look for this buoy. Look around you. There might be a boat around. The buoy might be right in front of you, staring at the GPS. You're never going to know it.
So that's what we were doing. We were not only doing this every hour, but it wasn't every 15 minutes we looked around.
Yeah, when we're on watch. Yep. When one person was designated on watch. Even if both of us were up there, one person was kind of designated as the watchstander, and the other person was kind of eat or chill or just kind of still be around. We're awake anyway, but just kind of, you were allowed to not be on all the time. You should record things in your log that happen. Maybe you heard the engine bump. Record the engine sounded weird at a particular time, and you were like, eh. So you write it down or record the engine. Maybe you had a really good snack that was really, really yummy. Record it in the log. Record when the sunset goes down. Yeah, it's beautiful, or record when you see dolphins or something. I don't think we necessarily did that, but we saw dolphins.
A lot.
A lot of dolphins, yeah. So these are parallel rules, and they're just a tool that you can use to make parallel lines. Say I'm right here on this line of longitude. 78 degrees, 10 minutes west. I actually have a point over here that I want to find way up here. I can just go like this. You can see, okay, well, 78. So that's 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there's 12. So I want 12 minutes, not 10. So then you come up here, and wherever it intersects, you mark it. The other way to use them is to transfer courses. Like I can come over here and I can look at my run line. You can transfer this course to my compass rose, so I can figure out my course. And then I just go from here and I figure out the course, and I see that it is 230 is my true course.
Where are you seeing that?
Where this
Meets this?
Nope, where this
Where this
meets that.
meets this?
Yep. Put a little line there where we can see it.
Right here like that?
Oh yeah. So it's like 235 or so. I'm reading these little red numbers because those are the true. These black numbers are depths. So, and that corresponds to what we're shooting for, which was pretty much ran 235, 236 most of the way down. That was pretty much our run line. Sometimes we were off a little bit, but that's what we shot for. Another tool you could use instead of these is, I find this is actually easier because you don't have to worry about the compass rose if you're just going to do true. What we do is we put this on the line on our course, or what we want to be as a course, and then we line this up with a line of longitude, and then we can read our course directly off it. And this is also a helpful tool to have dividers, because you can just, say, oh well, how far was this to here to here? What distance was that? You just put it over here, and you go, okay, that was 10, 20. Yeah, 25 nautical miles or so.
So hopefully you learned something, and hopefully you'll use this information the next time you're out at sea. Let us know if you liked the video, what you learned, and what you would like to see next time.
See you next time. Could you learn to be salty?
I don't want to be salty, it's sticky.
I like when you're salty.